everyone, welcome to Xiao Classroom. In this section, we introduce the simple series PLC to realize the configuration operation of PLC as the Modbus RTU Master station through configuration. First, right-click on Device, select Add Device, and then add a Modbus COM port under Fieldbus. Click on the COM port just added and select Modbus Client Master. Then add Modbus RTU slaves under the added master, and add a few slaves if you need them. Only add one slave here for demonstration, and delete the excess slave first. After the configuration is completed, let's take a look at the parameter configuration. The first is the configuration of the COM port. The COM port on the PLC body is 1, and the COM port on the expansion board can be arranged back in sequence. Then the baud rate, check, data bit and stop bit here can be consistent with the slave settings. Then let's take a look at the configuration of the main station. We select our RTU protocol, and then check Auto Restart Communication. Then on the slave side, you can set the address of the slave and the response timeout time. Then add the data address of the leader follower station to interact on the channel side. The name of the channel can be set, and then the PLC supports reading and writing data in different areas of the slave station through a variety of different function codes. Which area needs to be read and written, just select the corresponding function code type. For example, the operation of selecting the read and hold register. Then there are 3 types of triggers here, namely cycle loop, rising edge, and application trigger. Cycle trigger method only needs to set the cycle trigger time, and the channel will be accessed periodically according to the set cycle time. If set to rising edge trigger type, generate a rising edge variable in the channel with rising edge trigger type, corresponding to the I/O map. Each time this rising edge variable needs to be triggered to achieve access to this channel. If it is set to trigger by the application, the channel data needs to be accessed through the triggering of the Modbus channel block in the program. Let's add 3 channels to choose different trigger types to show you the effect. Let's take a look at the cycle triggering method first. Just set the cycle time. The following are the settings of the offset address and the number. Then when there is an error, you can choose to keep it with the last value or clear it. Just click OK after finishing. Let's configure a channel triggered by the rising edge again, which is still the read and hold register. Read 5 consecutive words with an offset of 5. Then configure the channel of the application trigger type. Read 5 consecutive words with a holding register offset of 0. Then, under the initialization channel configuration, the data that needs to be initially assigned to the slave when the leader follower station establishes communication for the first time can be assigned to the coil or hold register through the selection of different function codes. For example, the value 66 is assigned to 10 consecutive words starting from offset 0 of the slave register. On the I/O mapping side, we can see the channel just configured. Channel 1 is a rising edge trigger, and a rising edge trigger variable will be generated here. Every time you want to read and access channel 1, you need to give the rising edge trigger variable rising edge signal to achieve, triggering an access once. Then channel 2 is triggered by the application, so we need to access it through the Modbus channel instruction block in the program. Let's call this instruction in the program first. The first pin fills in the name of the slave station. Then there is the trigger variable of the instruction, which will make an access to channel 2 once triggered. Channel index fill in the index value in front of channel 2. And when it's done, we're going to go and download it and see how it's working. Now open the Modbus Debugging Assistant and configure the parameters. The communication parameters are consistent with those set by the main station. If you see that this side turns green, the communication is successful. Then the initial value set in the initialization channel just now is also successfully written to the slave. The slave modifies the data, and the master channel 0 can be read in real time. Then the data of channel 1 is not transmitted because its trigger type is rising edge trigger, and it needs to give the rising edge variable rising edge signal. Retrigger the rising edge variable again for the data to be transmitted. Channel 2 is also an operation to read and hold registers, but it is an application trigger type, and the Modbus channel instruction needs to be triggered to get the data. If the data changes, you need to trigger the command again to get new data. The above is the operation of the simple series PLC as the Modbus RTU Master station through configuration. That's all. Thanks for watching.